This is a test of my voice to make sure that it is working. This is test. I am testing the voice to make sure it's working. Let's hope it's working. I hope it's working. This is a test of my voice to make sure that it is working. This is test. I am testing the voice to make sure it's working. Let's hope it's working. I hope it's working. Yeah, it sounds like it's working. Hello everyone and welcome back to Dry Bed County. I'm just going to pick up from where we left off last time. So we actually created this cargo route, but we didn't actually put any vehicles on it. So I'm going to go ahead and pop some vehicles on that. So if we just get some Benz tarpaulins. Pop them on this line. Sort of a greeny colour. I don't know whether it's that one or that one, but we'll go with that one. So this is going to be delivering tools for now, but it may well deliver more with time. I think what we're going to do in this episode actually is probably going to be hooking in Birmingham with some of its own cargo needs, so such as tools. Now, Birmingham currently needs 120 tools, and I could set up a truck from Oxnard through to Birmingham to deliver those tools. However, I really don't think it's going to do it justice. Now, Birmingham's a little bit tricky because the side where it's nice and open is where the residential is. So we would have to build a train line on the other side, which might get a little bit tricky if we wanted to, provide cargo and what have you via a train. So that's going to probably be quite an undertaking, especially where it's quite hilly around here, or masonry. We've got our chemical plant leaving us. It's just decided, you know what, if you don't want me, then I'm going to move on. And it's just going to move to somewhere else. So that's fine. We'll make do with whatever happens. But I just find it funny that from last episode we were deciding what to do. Didn't go with the route using that particular chemical plant and what have you, and now it's almost like it's a little bit unhappy with us. It's leaving the area. So if we were to build a line through, it's going to be quite tricky, but I think it would be very beneficial for Birmingham. I mean, it needs 114 bricks as well, so hooking those up would be quite beneficial. But it's just the route. The route is the question. Now, we could potentially remove a couple of these farm fields in order to go through this way, or maybe just one. But yeah, in terms of how we do this, I'm not too sure at this moment in time. I haven't really given it much thought. So I think we probably need to do maybe a crossover. Or a cross under to avoid these lines splitting off, and then come over, and it can come this side to avoid Oxnard's residential area. Unfortunately, that's pretty unavoidable where that one is. So maybe if we fly over this way and then go back on the ground and then go through here maybe, and through this area and then up. That might be the best way to get the tools to Birmingham. I mean, we could do a massive tunnel here. And to be fair, Birmingham does need a lot of different cargo. It's one of our largest cities because we've been growing it from the start. So it's our second largest city. So it could do with maybe a little cargo depot here that we then bring everything into. And we could do the same on this side, going out if we really need to pull in from off this way. But I don't know. I don't think that we're going to necessarily use this farm because it's sort of between two very difficult spots. So it might be beneficial to just build in a decent station here. And then we could maybe circle round and avoid the hills and stuff. I don't know whether it's possible. Let's give it a try. I actually want to do this a little bit differently to most other places. And come around like this. Maybe we could go through here. Maybe we could go out this way. It's difficult. It's difficult to know what to do. How much does that cost? 4.287 million for a distance of 894 meters. It's pretty cool that it gives us that information now. Maybe we can just build in a station like this. It's hard to say. And then we can go off this way. I think that's probably the best bet. To try and avoid impacting Birmingham with emissions. And to try and make sure that the route that we are putting in is beneficial to the area. Now, Birmingham is fairly large, actually. It could do with maybe a couple of different routes. Or maybe one route that goes to two different places. I think it's probably best to do one route with multiple. To give it a bit more capacity. So I'm going to do that now. That's not what I want. There we go. And then the obvious solution would be to connect in there, but it would also be quite nice if we could potentially connect in on the other side of this. Something like this. And we can also build out here, connect in there, and then that way this road will be able to allow things to go to either side of the city. So that's all right there. And we'd be building out this way. To be honest with you, it's actually quite an awkward way to make one line go into two. What I might do is just build this out here. So this will be sort of a point for us to aim for. And then if we remove these sets of tracks here, we could probably delete a little bit further back. And actually we've got quaternaries on here, so I'll turn those off. Build in a fairly decent connection through. Turn on the slip switches. So this way, up to this point, traffic can come down very quickly, and then it going back can all go onto the same track. So we want the non-one-way stop here, and the one-way stop here. Although train lines are flipped up further up the track. Okay, I'll leave this for now and I'll come back to it in terms of which way round it goes, because we might want to flip it up this way so then we don't have to worry about it too much, because at the moment they're left-hand drive, which is not necessarily what we want further up. So we could potentially come off and go underneath a little bit further down. Something like this. And then if we're going over on the upper one, actually this is already going down a little bit, so that works into our favour. If we're going over here, it would be quite a good opportunity to come over onto the correct side, so to speak, because I mean there isn't really a right or a wrong, it's more just a case of everywhere else on the map we're right-hand drive. I mean, personally, left-hand drive makes a lot more sense to me because I'm from Britain and we drive on the left over here. So, but that isn't necessarily to say that driving on the right or the left, especially when it's a train, like a train can't really do much harm in terms of if it's going on the wrong side of the track. Well, that's a lie. Didn't really come out how I expected it. As in, it can't drive on the wrong side of the track. You know, it's all set before anything goes on the actual line. It's all figured out. But anyway, yeah, a train going the wrong way could be disastrous, but that wasn't what I was necessarily meaning when I was speaking about that, but hey ho. Let's put this in. I just meant a train can't go on the wrong side of the track. You know, it shouldn't be able to be done. Right, so we're going to need to build through this way. Build through here. In fact, that's already far down. Let's raise that up to ground level. So we're going through at this point. It might actually be fine if we connect this in. It'll avoid this section. This is a little bit wider than here, but it's absolutely fine. That's a double tunnel, double tunnel, double tunnel, double tunnel. I like to think they've fixed that, because before it could break and not be a double tunnel, but it was a double tunnel and it's all a bit weird. So yeah, if I'm coming through here, we're going to have to get rid of that farm field, but it should be fine. Realistically speaking, I don't think we're going to use it. And then that connects up. And that one. Awesome. So that's all set up. So if we now put one-way stops here, we can do some one-way stops going through. I anticipate that we're going to have a lot more traffic coming this way eventually. And that's where they flip over. And then down here, they're back to norm for this particular track. So if we want to put in a line just for tools to Birmingham, we can. We definitely want this to fill up. Pick up tools. Deliver down here. And we're going to use all these other platforms if we need them. Sweet. Whoops. So tools is this bluey color. So I'll just make that correct. And then we need to put in some road lines in order to facilitate this. I think if we were to move this bricks line over to using this train line, that would also be beneficial. For now, I'm going to leave it how it is, but I think in time that might well be something we do. But for now, what I'll do is I'll put the two stops here and here. I'll actually move this. So instead of going to this central point, it goes to these two. There we go. That should work quite well. It can unload its bricks there. Hopefully it'll build through here. In fact, if we just build it through, then it'll be a bit more efficient then of a line. And then down here we're going to have 2 lines for Birmingham. Oh, I did the wrong one. I need it to go to that additionally. And these are just going to be picking up whatever is needed for Birmingham, really. So using 3 as the primary stop and then 4 as a secondary. Loading up on these. They'll come down to these 2 spots, and then this would be road cargo Birmingham, and this one can be number 1, and the other one can be number 2. And I mean, we could go with yellow. I'm not a massive fan of yellow personally, but it doesn't mean we can't use it. I think those are different shades of yellow. I might even use a bit of a lighter one here just to accentuate that a bit. So we've got our stop set up, stops, plural, and we have our tools line set up. So we just need to put some vehicles on it. Considering it's split out across 2, I might just do 2 on each. I'm sure that will quickly get overrun, but it will be, just to begin with, a little bit cheaper to run, and then as these fill up we can put more on them. So in terms of providing tools to Birmingham, we probably want, ooh, we've actually got a new trains locomotive, the Mikados. The Mikados were the most common freight locomotives until the end of the steam era. More than 9,500 were used in the USA. Okay. It's got a slightly lower top speed than the Atlantic, but it also has a way more power. Like almost double the power and double the tractive effort. So we'll probably go with the Mikados, just something a bit different. And this would be for a boxcar. So I would imagine we can build these pretty long, but we probably want to build it to the confines of the station. I've actually made this the wrong blue, haven't I? There we go. So that one could go on to Birmingham, and we can see how that does as time goes on. For now, it's early days. In fact, it's going the opposite direction from where it needs to pick stuff up from, so I don't know how well this is going to do. It's interesting, its horn is a whistle, but it has a bell. But yeah, that's on its way through. I suppose that's going to go to Birmingham before it then comes back to pick up tools in the station over here. But that's fine. I think we need to make more use of this train station, so actually putting in the train for bricks would be quite a positive thing. I don't know whether we want to go... I don't really want to go straight through here, so we might come down this way, but then we've also got to think about stone coming through. I suppose we could go around to avoid Oxnard and the residential area here. There is a little bit of emissions from the cargo coming in, but there's not much we can do about that. If we built a train station to go out this way, we could potentially hook it up to this line, but also avoid the residential area. So I think that's probably what we'll do. So with that in mind, we would probably need to break off from this line and come off this way. This can be where the stone line comes down. In actual fact, we could probably split off from this to have a connection in down here for cargo coming down. In fact, no, because we already have that here to provide cargo to Oxnard, so it's not actually needed. Ignore me there. Is there anything else that we could potentially want to bring down this way? Or even connect up to this train line through? So we have a need for tools, which we've just satisfied. Bricks, which we're going to satisfy. How long are these waiting? Let's pop them up to 5 minutes. Then again, do we want the bricks to potentially go out to another city around here? Mobile could use them, but then Mobile's already getting some from there. All the other cities seem to be on the other side. Okay. I'll tell you what we could do is put in a train station that goes this way, and then it completely avoids going through this area and can make more use of that tunnel. That could be quite good. In order to put all that in, I'd probably have to rip out this line that currently is providing bricks to Birmingham. We probably want them to go this way, so if we were to do that... Nope. We want them to go off perpendicular from this. Is that the right word? Perpendicular? I think it is. Maybe we could just have a connection on this side. Make sure that that has enough connection into here. We only need 2 here, if that. So that would then allow us to build in this train line. And we could potentially, if we're going to go out this way and come round, we could potentially have a bit more of a complex junction here. Because we'd effectively want these ones to probably be on the ground. And then this one go underneath maybe. It might just be better to have it come down this way. It's just not very even. It's a bit convoluted doing it this way. There's not enough space for a line to go through there. What height is this? This is 9 meters. Over here is 4.3. We want to try and find 9 meters, keep it flat. So we can connect those in quite easily. It's the other side that's a little bit tricky. How would we want to do this? Because we need a connection going in this side and also a connection going in this side. We could potentially use this space on the other side though, and that would allow allow us to do it. And actually there's a natural rise here, so So that could work quite well. So we're effectively putting in sort of like a trumpet interchange here. Let's just delete this back, but it's good to know where we're aiming for. We kind of want to come through like this. Go clean over the tracks. Nice and simple. And then connect in down here. And then these ones can come down and probably merge further down the track. That'll work really quite well, I think. Oh, okay. Maybe if we delete this out a little bit. Okay. Go in like that. And then, hey presto, we have our lines coming down here. There we go. So we have a bit of a trumpet junction here. That'll be quite cool going forward, I think. We just need to build a road through, a railroad that is. So if we delete this back, we then need this to come through like so. Oh, I didn't actually want to tunnel there. Can we change it? Yes. No? Yes. Right. Yeah, cool. And then we just need to have a crossing here. Like so. Awesome, that's all set up now. And we can build the road to actually run parallel to it, so that'll look pretty decent. It won't necessarily be much use once the train station's getting used, but for now it'll do. We can go underneath here. Oh. Something like this. And then we just need some stops for this particular section. I might actually move these further back. And then we need some here. Down here we're going to need some as well. And then also over here, we might as well put some about halfway. And that should do for now. So in terms of this station here, we're going to have to remove the current line, I think, is what we're thinking, because if we want to connect into this line and we want to do it without affecting the other trains coming through, we're going to have to probably have a bit of a run up to then go over or under. Now one side will be quite easy because it will just come off and it will come down into the train station. The other side not so much. So I think we're going to just pull the plug on this particular line. We'll send all the vehicles back to the depot so we can use them at a different time. Or down the road, and then we'll delete this back. And what we'll do is we will build a road here, hopefully, if it's going to work. I don't think we'll need a 2-lane, at least not at the moment. So if we maybe do this a little bit further back. And of course this side of the track will be quite easy to go in. In fact, it's kind of almost like we should just have a separate run through for it, which could potentially be a good idea. We'll keep it in mind. So we want to build this out. I want to keep this bit flat just till I've built this, and then we can go underneath, hopefully, this. We might have to go from further back to do that, to achieve it. Yeah, that does want to go in. It's just a case of we need to actually find the right level. For this to tunnel, like so. And then if we have this coming out, I mean, what happens if we just connect it in? I mean, that works, so we have that, and then this can connect in there, and then we want to split off here, connect in under here. There we go. It works. I think that's not too bad, actually. I thought it was going to be worse, because normally this is a little bit icky, but it's as good as it's going to be, I think, for what we've got. We'll have a few stops through here to hopefully keep trains moving. And in fact, we'll have another stop here. So all we need to do now is put in the stone line down to here, and then the brick line into, into here. So we can use line 2, we want to fill up, we want to get bricks, we can use line 1, we want to unload stone, we want to pick up stone, we want to unload bricks. There we go. All we need to do is put in some steps along this way. And then that will connect up there. This connects up here. We can get rid of this. And we can get rid of that bricks line as well. So this bricks line has been really quite profitable throughout the years, highlighting, or at certain times doubling what money it goes in, but other years not as much, but it's still a decent amount. But now it's time for it to go. It has served us well, and we are moving on to bigger and better things, so it's high time that we embrace that. So I think we're going to need some trains for this line. So if we go down here and grab a couple, I don't think we'll need anything too big. 10-wheelers should do it for now, especially where it's only for one city. And and they do need to go over that bridge. So if we keep it like 209 meters, 192 capacity, yeah, that should be okay. And then if we build another one for the bricks, we might eventually need to upgrade these, but for now, these will be fine. And there's no real point in us making it larger than the one that's actually going to bring the stone. So we'll go ahead and put those in. So, ooh, which one? Which one's which? Right, so this one's the bricks line, this one's the stone line. I just need to name them. So, rail, cargo, stone. And this is down at Oxnard. It also needs to be the right colour, there we go. And then this other one, rail, cargo, bricks to Birmingham. There we go. Nice. So that will be pretty cool once we get trains going through it, I think. If we just name these relevant things, so Birmingham Road Cargo Platform. We will do what we've done elsewhere and name these for what they are serving. This one's for the construction plant. That way when we... Oh, have we reached the limit of the... Ah, we have. Okay, okay, plut means platform. We'll know what it means by what we're looking at. It just better helps describe what is each thing. Oh, we've got a bunch of vehicles now, which we can... Oh wow, there's 40 there. That was actually quite a beefy line. We can use on these other lines for Birmingham. Eventually, once we see how things sort of work out. It looks like we're starting to get some bricks. Yeah, looks like there wasn't that much stored, which makes sense because these vehicles would pretty much take away what they provided in stone. So there's probably only, like it says, 2 stone left. So that's okay. So we're now getting tools and we're also getting bricks. Machines and goods we haven't actually set up yet in this area, so we're gonna have to hold fire on providing those. I reckon we can probably bring it over from like here. We can do something around this area, I think, because we've got a few different bits and bobs around here. So that would be pretty good. I think what we will do is possibly hook in Henderson and North Las Vegas with food, because that will mean that the food processing factory down here, or plant, can then provide food to 2 more cities and hopefully grow a bit. All we need to keep in mind is that this is already pretty busy on this side, so it might be worth us expanding the station out a little bit. How much of its supplies is getting there? 100%. Okay. So San Diego hasn't actually grown yet, which is interesting. Hasn't even received any fuel. Where's the refuel train? It's on its way back. Is it because, yeah, there's so many bits of food it hasn't actually... We'll bump this up to 10. It's annoying that I can't just use the vehicles over here, but because it is such a distance, they probably won't get there in time, and I don't think there's actually a route directly through just yet. So it's something to keep in mind going forward, that we might need to connect both sides up. It shouldn't be too much difficulty because it looks like there's a road fairly close by, which could be used. It's just a case of we haven't gotten to that part yet. But yeah, it looks like we're starting to get tools through here as well, which is pretty cool. So if we were to put in, yeah, both of these are in use. We don't necessarily want to block the bricks line, and the food line might well do that on its own. So if we were to build a food line out, we would probably want to, mind you, we could potentially go around here or something, but it's a bit convoluted, and we've already got a station set up here that we could use potentially. It's just a case of we need to put everything in, and we could actually use the tracks that we've already got as well to bring food down to Henderson practically, and then that makes more use of the tracks that we've already invested in, so that would be quite a good idea. This already has 2 stops on it, or 2 lines on it, so we probably want to expand that. In which case, it might be better to have maybe this come over on this side as well. Let's see. So if we split this off, this coming up here like so, and go across this way. Bridge pillar collision. The bridge pillars are trolling me. What if we did it on the other side? Would it still be a bridge pillar collision if we did it on this side? No? Okay, we'll just push everything over slightly. Right, so if we were to build a second cargo station on the other side, something like this, put in platforms, we could then use it for North Las Vegas to be delivering cargo there. Right. We'll need a crossing, or will we? I don't actually know whether we will, because we could potentially use the same line. Ooh. That could be good. We could potentially use the same line to go straight for it. We might as well put in a crossing, but I think we will use the same line so that it can go directly through. That would be really good. On to the next city. Yeah. I quite like that idea. So this would be the one coming back. That's perfectly fine. This would be the one coming out. So we need to connect these up somehow. We could potentially avoid interrupting traffic here by just going underneath or over. Although it's a bit convoluted for such a low amount of traffic coming through, and we also wanted to make more use out of the investment that we did. Maybe we could expand this out so it's got a through line as well. Not that it really makes much difference. It just allowed trains to go straight through then. Because am I right in thinking that these are... Yeah, these are left-hand drive. And these are right-hand drive. Oh, that might cause a bit of an issue. So effectively we'll need to take the left-hand drive of this one, go through. Okay. Right, in that case, what we might do is go underneath. I think is probably for the best. So if we split out here, and then that can connect in there. And then if we go underneath, there isn't really anywhere that a bridge would make sense, is there? Not really. We could then, but then it is going to need to split out here as well. Ah. Is it really worth it? Or should we just put both lines underneath? Yeah, let's do it. Put both lines underneath, and then it means that we don't need to worry about it. Down the line. So we should be able to get 2 trains through here, right? Maybe not. Yeah, definitely not. So we'd have to move everything over slightly if we wanted to go adjacent this. But I kind of do want to go adjacent to this. There we go. So let's just pull this back a little bit. And then have this connecting up here. And this will create quite nice flowing train line in. Of course, this one connects through. So it's on the right side here. It probably makes sense for us to potentially connect in this side, especially where it's so close. And then it's done then. So bearing in mind that these tracks, the trains on them are opposite orientation, it means that trains coming back this way can potentially hop over onto the other side, but hopefully they'll use this cut through. And then down here, oh right, we all have residential. Darn. There's not much I can do about that now. So the residential's right where we want to put the train line into it. Not enough money. I was just thinking maybe we want to bump this up so that we can actually provide what we want to Birmingham and things, considering we're pretty much maxed out, I think, at the moment. But hopefully it'll grow with time. Okay, what do we do? We could potentially... I mean, we could put in a tunnel. It's not necessarily meaning I'm wanting to. But it's stupid. It's absolutely stupid. It's expensive. It's so close to just having a line go round it. It doesn't make sense. It's a bit silly. We could potentially scrap what we've done and go out this way more. Possibly with a flyover that comes through this way. I think this was building a bridge, but we chose not to here. So we could probably use that to have a line go through. And then we could come out on the correct side of the city to ensure that it does grow with little emissions. We could potentially just build into a factory nearby, like this goods factory, to try and avoid the train emissions, which would be much more, and then do the last bit with trucks. And then we could also potentially use this new line that we put out here to get goods. There's a few different options, but I don't really know which one we want to go with. I don't necessarily want to build around this and scrap what we've done, because we wanted to use the same line to deliver to both North Vegas and to Henderson. Although both these cities are going to grow and eventually put strain on that one train. I don't know what we do. We've got a machines line out here as well, or machines factory I should say, out here as well. What do we do? We've got another tools factory down here. We do have a steel mill, although it's in quite a difficult position to build us a train line out here. I mean, we could probably come through this way, but I probably have to take up this space more than anything. Do we have another sawmill? We've got a lot of forests. If we did, we could then build machines out this way. Make use of it that way. I don't know where the nearest sawmill is. That one's in use. That one's the other side of the map. Let's just sort these. So Birmingham, no. Fontana, maybe. Henderson in use. Mesa in use. Mesa. It's the other side of the map. It doesn't make sense. Marita, not the other side of the map, but also on the other side of the river. Yeah, no, no, no. Hang on. Do we have a city called Newark and another city called Norwalk? Newark and Norwalk. That's not going to get confusing at all. Anyway, Oxford, Oxnard, Oxnard, Oxnard. I don't think we would use it. Like, it's quite a far way, although we could potentially truck stuff out here and then pick up on the way back. Maybe. It's actually quite high up on the hill, 94 meters. This stuff is at 11 meters, so I don't know whether that's really feasible. We could potentially pick up wood on the way back. Although we want it to be... over here for the planks. This is a conundrum. We could potentially build off this way. From underneath we could come out this way. Does mean that they'll have to actually split with a junction, but I suppose as long as it's only one way, we could do it this way. So we could even just do North Las Vegas either on the way there or on the way back and have a cut through. I think we're going to have to go with that. It's not the best option, but it's an option in a situation that we don't really have options presenting very quickly. Too much curvature. Really? So we can go underneath here. We could have one of those newfangled three-way splits. Yeah, I think that's going to be pretty much the only way. So if we split off from this, and this would be returning, wouldn't it? This is a bit odd. Is there a hill here? Yeah, there's a bit of a hill here. I see. I didn't realise that. Should be fine still to connect in down here. This is just going to be a little bit tricky, but then that works fine. Could it not? Do a bit nicer of a job, and then we could potentially... Oh, no, I don't want that. There, that's pretty much perfect. No. No. There. No. There. That'll have to do. To be honest, it's not going anywhere, so I don't know why I bothered. So off this way, I don't know whether we would actually use this steel mill, but there is some ore around, and then there's another steel mill over here. So there's potential for using these. Just a random bunch of trees over here. I think it would probably be best to have a station for Henderson and a station for the machines, if we were going to do that. Might actually work quite well. Is there another forest on this side? There's one there. As long as we avoid that city. We could potentially build in here and then loop it in. So then pick up logs, drop off logs, pick up planks, drop off planks, pick up logs, drop off logs. What about coal for this one? It's up a hill. Oh, we've got an Atlanta here. I didn't even notice that one there, if I'm honest. But Atlanta wants goods and machines, so it would be quite good to hook up goods and machines on this side. It's just a case of how we do it. We could do a food line out to here if we really wanted. And then while we're thinking about it, at least it's delivering food. I don't really want to just do that for the sake of it though. Okay, let's just get on with it. So I think we would need maybe a couple of stations out here. Oh geez, is that a massive hill? Oh, it is. Great. Okay. So we probably want to build in like here and then loop back round, which is doable. It's just a bit silly, really. But we'll do it. There we go, that works. Let's take out that bit. This will come down here. And actually we could use the same line to connect in over here. Although it's not very flat here. It's going to be tricky to put in a train station that doesn't look all kinds of wrong. That might be about as good as we get. I don't know about that. Maybe we'll just have to put one in here with steps to allow to connect. So we have this connecting in here. And then that connects there. The road could probably go around or could be further out because it'll probably eventually want to go into a bridge. especially if we make it. But right. So we now have one for here and one for here. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted. We want to bridge over here. There we go. That allows everything to link in. So we would have to connect this up down this way. Right, so if we connect these in, then all of a sudden we have our potential food line. put that in as a double slip, and then hopefully we can make this work. I don't know which side it would need to be. I'm guessing it would need to be on its way back. Right, because these are going out this way. Or would it need to be on its way through? Ah, I don't think it can. Okay, what if we... Oops, I didn't mean to take out that extra bit. What if we did a double slip switch here? So then it can go either way. So we can technically connect this up with... No, we can't actually, because there's no connection here. I think what I'm going to do is a separate line out this way. I think it makes a bit more sense to do it that way. It's more direct. But down here we're going to need to put in some more tracks. I think it might be best to put them on the opposite side though. Move everything over slightly. So if I just pause it a second, delete these out, put in the tracks, and then put in the platform. And then we can put in, I don't think we'll be able to fit a building there, but we can put in some steps. So that'll do. And then if we connect this into this side, it will then allow us to move this one over one, and we can hopefully use that spare track to take stuff out that direction. So I'm going to just start moving this over. Right, this is going this direction, so we need it to be right-hand drive. That's not going to get very confusing very quick. I'm being sarcastic, it will. Because everything else is right-hand drive, and the bit that we're actually connecting in is left-hand drive. So we need to keep that in mind going forward. Okay, right, let's move everything over slightly. So the ones that were on 4 are now on 1 and 2. The ones that were on 5 are now on 3. Ones that were on 6 are now on 4. And then we actually need to address these ones. No. We need to address these ones. There we go. That should be fixed, so to speak. And then in terms of connecting in down this way, we could potentially do a flyover here. We already have a split off there. Then have a connecting in line there. We'll do the train line going the other side of these farm fields. Connecting in here. Then we need to do a bridging over part, which this is not agreeing with. That works quite well. And that will connect in there. Okay, I think that's pretty much done. If we did this on number 5, coming out here, I think it would have to deliver down here first. Why is it having an issue? Why is that having an issue delivering out that way? Have we not connected it in? Or have we used the wrong... That should be able to. Cannot connect to all stations. Really? Why can it not connect? There's nothing wrong with this train line down here. That's a double slip. Huh. What? Is it something to do with back here? Did we put a crossing in? Yes. Ah. Oh, no, that's not it. Hold on, now there's a line going out this way. So that's working. But it still cannot connect to all. So it can't connect coming back. Comes through here. This is a double slip switch, yes. And then it should be able to. We'll probably need to put more stops in, but for now I'm just trying to work out why this isn't. We know that trains can go down this bit. And in fact, trains can get past this bit. It's the connection here. Is it that it's going to number 1? Oh, that's why. Oh, damn. Hopefully this crossing won't cause too many issues. We'll have to wait and see. I think if we put in a train here. Have we done food before? What colour did we make food? Food. Like a turquoisey colour, like that. And then we need boxcars. We'll just take this out to 310. Pop it on that new line. And then we need to name that. Henderson and north. I don't know whether we'll be able to fill all this in. Las. That is Las, isn't it? Not Lab. Las Vegas. Or Vegas. There we go. It all fitted. I'm actually quite surprised. So here we want to allow them to use the extra spot. We want them to empty their food. We might even be able to make use of this same line and bring back machines. Because the train will be able to take machines. So that's worth knowing. Is this going to need an actual... it might need an actual... If it was just delivering machines, it would be fine. But because it's delivering machines and food, I think it's going to need a extra station to take things up into the road. Or up the road, rather. Makes sense to make good use of the train lines that we've got going back and forth here anyway. Or the roads even, sorry. I don't know whether maybe we want that to connect in there. We probably want this to come out though. Like it is. Bridge pillar. Causing some issues there. We can make use of that going out that way. And we could actually make use of this space over here. I don't think it really needs 2 stations, but it could grow into it. This is not very flat space, is it? For all we know, it could grow quite large, this city, so I think we'll be prepared for that, just in case it does happen. Too much slope. How come there's too much slope there? Okay, what if we maybe took a road out and kept it flat? And then connected that up there. No. It's not liking it. Although it does if I do it without the road connecting it, even though it's going to connect fine. So, never mind, it works. Okay, so like I said, this is a bit overkill, but it will provide us with good connections going forward and hopefully allow us to grow the city with time. Or in time, I should say. What colours do we have? We don't have like a navy blue or a royal blue. So we'll go with like a blue. That might look quite nice. It's almost a bit of a purpley blue, that. So the food line's in. We've got a road line to deliver here. We just need vehicles, which, to be honest, I don't think we're going to be able to get from another depot. So I might as well make use of this space that I built over here and get some vehicles for this line. Let's just colour those the colour of the line. And we'll need to do the same over here. We'll need to put a section in. How widely spread is North Las Vegas? It's actually fairly widely spread, so if we put one here and one here, that should hopefully allow it to do maybe a couple of lines, but I think we'll just do one line that does the loop. Henderson was more a case of I wanted to build into that space while it existed, and wasn't already built into. This is some wide open space that we can make use of. Let's pop in a couple of delivery points just in case, or cargo buildings. Right. Do we want it that way around, or do we want it this way around? I suppose that works. Road cargo, North Las Vegas. Bless you, little man. My kitty cat just sneezed. He's just sat right in front of me on his. He's got a little pillow. Let's make it a bit more of a vibrant yellow. There we go. We don't really have a road depot out this way other than the one at Henderson. So again, it might be worth building one in out this way. There we go. So that should now allow the food line to start delivering. That's connected in there, isn't it? Yeah, good. And then we also need machines here. So we potentially could hook that up. Here. We really need to think about how we're going to hook up the machines here though. So we've got the train line through. So we need a sawmill, probably this one, the Fontana one. Yep, I think that's probably the best. And then a steel mill. So there's a few steel mills on that side. There's one there which actually might be a fairly good option. We've just built a rail line out that way, so it wouldn't be too much to connect it up to over here. We've got coal, 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 iron, 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 iron. So we could potentially connect that in quite easily. We could even, if we really wanted to, have like a truck back and forth to just connect into this mobile food processing plant one. But I'd rather not. The only problem is these right next to the... Where's my mouse gone? There. Sorry, it's a white mouse on a white overlay, so it's quite easy to lose. Okay, what other options are there? We got the Marita one, which actually is quite a good one to use because it's on this side of the river. We got ore, coal. We've got coal up here, which is going to be quite difficult to use. We've got coal down here, over here, which is going to be quite difficult to use. We've got coal over here, which we're going to be building a station into anyway for the planks. So it might be worth using this one. Possibly. That could be a good option. Oh, we've got a forest out here. And it's on the opposite side of the tracks, though. Okay. We could potentially truck over the... it's not really going to work, is it? Where else is there? There's a steel mill here, which actually would be quite a nice one. We've got coal, iron. Got a steel mill up here. Iron. Coal on the other side of the river, which is quite close but tricky to get to because it's over the river. The 2 coal down here, which we were going to use for this one. I kind of think this one's probably the best one to go with because it's just closest. The lack of coal is a bit tricky. I mean, we do have some here and here, but trying to get it down this mesa is going to be tricky. I mean, it's quite expensive if we wanted to use train, which we probably do. Let's face it. This is annoying. There's just not something jumping out at me as a really good option. And I kind of wish it was. I really wish it was because it's not going to be easy to connect this all in. The train tracks as well, where they are, can cause problems. Not gonna lie, to keep things even, I do like to have one line that goes to both an iron mine and a coal mine. So that way, once a train has been through that line in total, in theory, it should have delivered the same amount of coal and the same amount of iron ore. Obviously, dependent on where it is through that line, it might have split that up a bit, but we know where the sawmill's going, so let's work with that for now. And remember, we might want to pick this up, so if we do like a 4 here, it's not quite close enough. I don't think it's going to reach. I think we'll have to do something separate for that. Okay, well, if we were to put in a road here, obviously this side of the track is quite easy to connect in. It's the other side of the track that's going to be tricky. But it doesn't mean it's impossible. Oh. What? It's a bit odd. Why wouldn't it allow me to... Oh, it allows it that way. I tell you what, we could potentially go directly under. But that won't actually allow it through. We would have to go over. Bridge pillar. It's always bloody bridge pillars. Can we make this work? Yes, we can. I don't know where the bridge pillar's gone, but whatever. I'm not gonna tempt fate and have it break. Was that a 2? I wanted a 1. Oh, whatever. Right. Okay. That works on that side. And now we don't really have any money. We have just spent a lot of money to invest in all this, as you can see, through the past few years, so it makes sense that we don't quite have money at the moment. Henderson 9 is starting to get some food put on it. Oh, that's unexpected. It's going out towards Henderson. Well, at least it'll be filled up by the time it comes back. Could we potentially go out this way on the way back? Yes, we can. How do we get it back onto the other side, though? That's the question. Oh, here we go. This could work. So we need 57,000, which we now have. And now we need 133,000, which we now have. Yeah, I'm going to all this effort, but we do just have a slip switch down here. It kind of feels like maybe we should put a little bit more effort in down there. Especially if we could potentially link these up. No, I don't think it'll work. Because it's a bit too tight. We could probably do a fly over here. Let's just get stuff out here first. Oh wow, we've got 15 million all of a sudden. That's a lot of money. Right, we can set this up now. The planks line. So if you use number 2 and number 1 as a additional, and then we're going to be going out to here, down to here, and then back via this, dropping off on our way through. So that's fine. Down here we want to drop off logs and pick up planks. Over here we want to drop off, and use both if we have to, drop off the planks, and then over here we want to fill up on logs and then drop them off again. There we go. Rail car. Oh. Whoops. Rail cargo. Get there eventually. Planks. Henderson. It's like a green colour. Is that right? Yeah, I think so. Where's this one? Oh, this one's Henderson as well. Well, that's going to North Las Vegas, so North Las Vegas. Got to say it like that. North Las Vegas. We're probably going to need some stops along this before too long because it's fast filling up. So if we were to pick up, if we were to do coal and ore, could we maybe link this one into this route to go back? Possibly. I mean, it's right there. We might as well just connect it in. Although how, I don't know. And then on this side, we'll need to build a flyover off this way, connect into some of these. I mean, this one is actually quite easy to do. I might just flatten this out. Going to use the smooth tool though. Smooth it out. There we go. And then we would want maybe 4 lanes here, I think. Should do the trick. That allows them to connect straight in. And then we need to have a couple of train stations on this side. Maybe we could literally just do one. I don't know whether it would reach, but we could try. Oh, right. Hill. Okay. No, I think we're going to have to do 2. The good thing is that these lines don't have to actually connect into anything other than this over here. The bad thing is that we have all this other train stations to build into. Wow, we have a lot of money. I don't know where that's all come from so quick. Maybe we delivered to Birmingham? Are these lines starting to take off? I think they might be. Let's put a decent amount of vehicles on there. Say 8 on the first and 8 on the other. And then we just need to colour these. Like so. Are they... They're different vehicles actually. I didn't realise that. I thought they were the same. That's pretty cool. Okay, well, we got a lot of goods to shift here, so hopefully they get down here sooner rather than later. I think we'll leave the machines line until next episode though. I'm going to leave this one here. We've done a fair amount, and to be honest with you, this has been a bit of a headache to get in, but it wouldn't be a bit of a challenge unless it was. We'll have to wait and see how this line does, because I don't think it's going to start making money until a few trips down the line. But that's all fine. Until next time, have a good one. Thanks. Goodbye.